Yarr, matey. How's it going, Nathan? Love your little sailor that you've got here for this week. Got some really nice blocking, some really good ideas here. I just think there's a few things that, you could probably have a look at, especially on, the choice of the actual poses that you've got so far and making sure that the balance of the character works fine. Design-wise and what the character's doing, it's good, it's entertaining, it definitely marks, the necessary points, it's clear, everything's good. What I'd say is that really looking at, the posing and what you've got, you really want to keep emphasizing those changes of weights as you've got, because he's going left and right pretty well. And the nice thing about it as well is that he's almost, the ship, the rocking of the boat is something that you want to keep in mind. So when the boat comes up, in frame, this is really a comment, kind of like at the end, but when it kind of like in frame 151, the boat actually starts going up again, and you really want him to catch his weight again. So it's again that idea that he's on a surface that's moving. So at one point, what's going to happen is that his hands have to go up and actually catch, his legs have to actually move around. So it's almost like he's rocking. At one point, he has to give a step left or a step right to actually catch his weight, and that only really happens like twice because you've only got two rocks, one going one way and the other one going the other, which is really cool. So looking a bit more of it, kind of frame by frame, I mean the posing, when he's kind of like swaying left and swaying right, you've got a really nice curve in the spine that you could actually enhance in frame 33. Yeah, so when he actually changes, you've got a good opportunity there to do a spine reversal. So if you do it like an inverse C shape, so you can just give a bit more of a curve to the spine because you've gone from a pose that's over here all the way over, and you can actually get another pose coming out in the other section. So curve that spine a little bit more on frame 34. Follow the line of action. Almost put him up as if his screen right foot, there's actually going to be a curve up his body forming a C there, and that's going to be a much, much more stronger pose, essentially, as you change the weight from one side to the other. And then he stretches out to the other side, and pretty much you curve him quite a bit there, but also on frame 50, even though the bucket's in front of him, you keep using that idea of, him moving his weight one side, moving his weight another. Really, really, really look at the line of action through the whole body. So get the pose all the way from the foot going up into the spine and all the way even in the direction that the neck is actually going to be pointing out as well. Okay? Now, one of the things that I kind of like is that as the bucket does this little twist in frame 71, get the when he puts the mop in it in frame 74, I'd add just another kind of like pose over here as he kind of like comes back, and I wouldn't get him to actually roll, the bucket all the way out, because he kind of like puts the mop into the bucket, it goes in for a couple of frames, he gets it back under control, and then it kind of like just he pulls the mop out in frame 93 straight up. I'd almost think that, this action, it would be better if he actually stuck the mop into the actual bucket itself, and when he sticks it in, he actually just pushes the bucket back all the way. So it's almost like, oh, it's going too far, and stop, come back, and he actually pulls it back all the way, boom, zoom, and it's right at the position where it would be at in frame. So it kind of like slides over the deck now. I'd say let him pull it back to frame 103 with the mop actually still in the bucket, and he's kind of like even kind of like soaking the mop in a little bit more. You can add all these breakdowns later on, and then he pulls it out when it's back in its original position, because he seems to have it really under control. So it's always going slightly in one direction or another, but he stops it once with the mop, he stops the other time with his foot. It's very kind of like calm, the actions that he's got there. So I'd almost say that when he comes back now into frame, bum bum bum, he stops it, frame 170, and when he pulls it back, this little catch that he does in frame 182, So that pose there, make the foot go further back, and let him catch his weight much further back, just because he's much more in control that there. So I think it's kind of like, yeah, just let him do that step just a little bit longer. It cleans up your silhouette a little bit. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. As I said before, we've got some really nice solid poses. I just think you can push up those curves on the spine just a little bit more, and also keep that idea about, the ship moving and where he would naturally have to catch his weight every so often. It's just one or two little steps that he might adjust here and there. But great work, man. Really looking forward to see a little bit more. And it will look great when you throw a few breakdowns in. But I think that's pretty much it. See you soon. Bye.